Hello everyone, my name is Snehal Chowdhury. Today we are going to discuss very interesting topic known as substructure and superstructure. Learning outcome. After the end of this lecture, students should be able to understand the difference between substructure and superstructure along with its function. Let us discuss what is substructure. A part of a building which is constructed below the ground level is called as substructure. It consists of foundation, basement, etc., which is constructed below the ground. It transfers the load of entire building to the ground or strata below it. Let us imagine this is the ground level or the earth or the ground below which such type of structure is constructed. This is constructed above the hard strata. So, this constructed structure is known as substructure, which is nothing but the foundation. This is the imaginary building which is constructed on ground level. So, the weight of this entire building is transferred to the ground below with the help of foundation or substructure. Let us see the function of substructure. Even distribution of load. Obviously, foundation helps in distribution of non-uniform load of a superstructure evenly on ground. Provision of leveled surface. Substructure provides leveled surface over which superstructure can be laid. Lateral stability. It anchors the entire structure to the ground, imparting stability to the structure. Reduction of load intensity. Load of a superstructure is distributed over large area, maintaining total intensity of load less than safe bearing capacity of soil. Let us see the types of foundation. There are two types of foundations. First is shallow foundation and second one deep foundation. In both these images we can see first is the image of shallow foundation where some depth is shown with the help of deep, and in second image is the image of deep foundation where also the D is shown. Now here we can compare D means the depth of a foundation. For shallow foundation it is quite low as compared to the deep foundation. Now let us discuss about shallow foundation. Its characteristics are shallow foundations transfer the loads to the immediate soil surface below the structure, thus not transmitting it to the greater depths or the subsurfaces. It can be used when soil with the good bearing capacity is present at shallow depths. D by B is less than or equal to 1. Now what does this D and B stands for? Let us see. This is the foundation and D stands for the depth of a foundation and B stands for its width. In this figure we can observe that D is less than B means depth is less than the width of a foundation. Now in this figure we can observe that depth and width are approximately equal. So we can define shallow foundation based on this rule that depth of a foundation which denotes with the help of D is less than or equal to width which is denoted with the help of B. Next is deep foundation. Its characteristics are deep foundations transfers the loads to greater depths even if the hard strata is available or not. It is used when the bearing capacity of soil is low. Depth of a foundation is more than the width of the same, which is not in case of shallow foundation. So here we can see this is the deep foundation Now here, depth of a deep foundation is way more than its width. So this may be a rule of deep foundation to define it, where depth of a foundation is more than width, we can consider or we can call that foundation as deep foundation. Now let us discuss about superstructure. Part of a building which is constructed above the ground level is known as superstructure. It consists of all the floors constructed above the ground level, also plinth, chhajja, terrace, balcony, etc. Load of a superstructure is transferred to the substructure and subsequently it gets transferred to the hard strata or the soil below the foundation. Let us imagine this is the ground level, this is the foundation, this is the strata on which the foundation is constructed. So obviously this is substructure which we have already seen. Now this is the imaginary building which is constructed on the ground level. Now this imaginary building is known as superstructure. So here let us discuss the summary of entire discussion. Here we can see on the right hand side superstructure. Sorry. Here we can see on the right hand side superstructure and on the left hand side plinth height. Now plinth height is the part of superstructure along with chhajja door, then steps, brick masonry, etc. etc. And here we can see substructure which is constructed below the ground level. Now there is a time for some questions. You have to fill in the blanks. First question is, part of a building below ground level is known as. So just tell me whether it is known as substructure or superstructure. So yes, a part of a building constructed below the ground level is known as substructure. Second question is, plinth is a part of. Whether it is a part of substructure or superstructure, we have already discussed it in summary. So yes, plinth is a part of superstructure. Thank you for patient listening.